And now, why don't we go down to our decor, which is absolutely huge. First pair on the right, 6'4", 230. Captain Shea Weber. We all know what he can bring. The toughness, the leadership, the strong defensive ability down in the corners, retrieving pucks, and his first pass up the ice, or in front of the net, clearing out that slot so Carey Price can see what's coming at him. His gap control, off the rush, his stick work. It's unbelievable what this guy does defensively, and then you add on top of that the right-handed shot, the Weber bomb. He's a beast. We all know it. Then to his left, Ben Chiarot. Big Ben. What an addition he has been to this Montreal Canadiens, and they've formed a really strong pair. Him and Shea Weber shutting down top lines. And Ben is an underrated puck mover as well. He is a good skater for his size. And he can throw the big hit, plus in the offensive zone, he's really good at getting those wrist shots through to the net and causing some chaos. Just like Shea Weber. 15 goals in 65 games for Shea Weber and 9 goals in 69 games for Ben Chiarot. These two are going to log a ton of minutes for the Habs and are going to be really frustrating for other teams to deal with on a regular basis. Then you go down to pair 2. On the right, assistant captain Jeff Petry, still somehow underrated in the NHL. And he's more known as an offensive defenseman, but don't forget, he led our team in hits last year with 177. But with the offense, 11 goals, 29 assists. Fantastic season for Jeff Petry last year. Such a strong and mobile skater. The way he uses his edges and his agility to get through the neutral zone and his speed, really, really fun to watch. And I love that he has that physical element to his game as well. And then to his left, the coaches currently have newcomer Big Joel Edmondson, Stanley Cup winner, as his D partner. I'm a little bit surprised about this. I kind of figured they'd keep that Brett Kulak, Jeff Petry pair together because they were really strong in the playoffs. And I think Jeff Petry thrives when he has a defenseman who can make really quick offensive decisions or puck movement decisions down low on the breakout. And Kulak's really good at that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Kulak jump up here to be Jeff Petry's D partner at some point. However, Joel Edmondson in his own right, very experienced defenseman, entering the prime of his career. He's got a great shot on him as well, despite typically being known as a shutdown defenseman, and a good one at that. Always heavy on the blocks and on the hits. He's a big, tough guy to deal with down low, just like the majority of our defensemen. So this could actually become a very strong pair as well, with Edmondson being more stay-at-home and Jeff Petry liking to move the puck up the ice. Now, down on that third pair, we are looking at Brett Kulak over on the left, and I think he'll develop some chemistry with Mr. Alex Romanov, who's looking like he's going to play on the right despite being a left-handed shot. And Romanov, I think we're all incredibly pumped to see what he can do in the NHL. However, little disclaimer, I'm not so sure he's going to be heavily up on the board offensively. I'd love to be wrong about that. You know, maybe he ends up, putting up a respectable amount of points. However, his offensive game wasn't huge in the KHL, so I'm curious how that's going to translate in the NHL. I don't want to hype him up too much before we get a strong look at him in the NHL, but despite that, I think defensively he's going to be very, very strong in the NHL, and I also think he's going to be very tough, and he's going to really surprise a lot of guys in the Canadian, a lot of our opponents in the Canadian division, especially guys trying to skate past the blue line, because Romanov can absolutely crunch guys, train wreck guys. He was smashing big men in the KHL as an 18 and 19-year-old. So he's a strong guy, and that can be seen in his work ethic through training camp so far with the Montreal Canadiens. Pumped to see what he can do. Would love to see his offensive game going, but I will be happy as long as he's strong defensively at that young of an age and gets that physical aspect of his going and getting comfortable with it in the NHL. Would love to see him crush some of these our opponents' superstars as they're trying to get something going. It is really exciting to finally have Alexander Romanov in North America and in a Habs jersey. And let's not forget the potential that he has. Now, he might need some time to grow, but just a couple years ago, as an 18-year-old in the World Juniors, he was named top defenseman. Other D-men who have won that award in that tournament in the past 10 years, Rasmus Ristolainen, Jacob Trouba, Alex Pietrangelo, Ryan Ellis, Rasmus Dahlin, Thomas Chabot. So he's in good company there. He is going to be fun to watch for the Habs. And to his left, Brett Kulak, he has become a very respectable and responsible bottom four defenseman. And I think down on the third pair, he'll be really difficult for opposing bottom forward lines to deal with. Love what Brett Kulak brings to the game. He's a really strong skater, and he just makes smart plays at a consistent basis. Now, in terms of depth on our defense, you still have Victor Mete, who's young as a defenseman and continuing to get more comfortable in the NHL. His advanced analytics are absolutely off the charts. That cannot be a coincidence. And he's played a good significant amount of hockey, and sometimes in the Habs top four as well. I'd love to see Victor Mete come in and get some more chances on the power play. I think he looks strong there in the return to play. He makes some very accurate passes. He's also strong defensively. He can get pushed around because of his size. However, defensively he can keep up with some of the faster forwards in the NHL. He's got strong stick work. So I definitely like having Victor Mete as a tool to come in and out of this lineup, depending on who we are matching up against night after night. He will have a strong impact on this team, especially if he ends up getting power play time as well. And then there's also Kale Flurry, who looked real strong as a rookie last season. He only played 41 games, but 102 hits. Another one of these big defensemen, and he's a righty that can throw the body around. So he might need some time in Laval, but he may see some time with the big squad as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If I missed something, or if you just want to get in on the discussion, get at me down in the comments. And of course, check out the other videos in this series here or here. And I've got some videos with my buddy Coleman, a diehard Leafs fan, where we talk about the rest of the teams in the Canadian division, including the Toronto Maple Leafs. So check that out. And I just got to say thank you to all my viewers. There's so many of you that have been with me from the beginning, and many that have jumped into the crew along the way these last 3 years. So if you like these videos, hit the subscribe and the bell for notifications. More to come. Reaction videos after games. I'm just a diehard, passionate Habs fan who likes to discuss hockey and happens to make videos about them. So hope you enjoy what I'm doing here. Cheers, guys. Go Habs, go!